You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
That's right. This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. And we are broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors, American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Stone Valley Painting. They provide professional interior and exterior painting to apartment, homeowner association, and commercial properties alike. They'll even stay on the property when someone is even yelling at them, unlike our last story. But they would prefer that you not. But they will. You will appreciate from them their clean, professional, on-site presence, exceptional communication and customer service, their dedication and responsiveness, and unsurpassed quality. Give them a call, 763-269-8700. Well, let's get into our next story, and this is kind of interesting. I think some people are going to maybe be relieved that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are coming up with some changes as it pertains to a short sale dealing with specific foreclosures.
That's right.
In a homeowners association.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have announced changes to short sale policies to help more borrowers avoid foreclosure and stabilize neighborhoods. Short sale allows a homeowner to sell their home for an amount less than the value of the existing mortgage. While Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac incur losses in a short sale, these losses are significantly lower than the cost of foreclosure. So that's a good reason, I would think, to make this more streamlined. The new guidelines permit Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to offer a streamlined process and approve short sales where the borrower has missed several mortgage payments. They are also now able to work with borrowers who are still current on their mortgage, and that's a new thing.
So what is it that they're talking about in terms of helping to what does it mean to streamline? I think it says here, number one, they want to reduce or eliminate documentation burdens of borrowers with low credit scores who face serious financial hardship.
This is for those that are delinquent already.
Yeah, but the idea, I mean, is that a good idea or is that a bad idea?
Didn't this kind of thinking get us in trouble in the first place? We're going to make it easier for people with poor credit and insufficient income to buy houses. Isn't that kind of what got us into this trouble?
Yes.
I thought so.
I think just having some standards, I mean, again,
it's important. Yeah.
And so they say they will now allow a mortgage servicer. Now let's identify what that is to our listeners, because in this relationship you've got the mortgagor, which is the person who gives the mortgage. That's the person who has the house.
That's the borrower.
The borrower.
Yeah.
They give a mortgage to a bank, and so that
the bank is the mortgagee.
And but generally they don't pay money directly to that bank. There are a lot of companies that are sort of a third-party service provider that take the payments. They may take a little bit of money.
They do the administration and the paperwork, and they collect the payments, and
Okay, so they're not. They're important in that they keep the flow of money going from the mortgagor to the mortgagee, but they aren't principals in either of this transaction. They're not the people that gave the money. They're not the people that are giving the money.
Yeah, true.
But what's interesting is with this change, it sounds like they want to give this mortgage servicer some authority, a role that I think is kind of interesting. Now, it said that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac want to be able to, in this streamlined process, be able to qualify borrowers who are current on their mortgage for a short sale. So I guess here's the issue. You're current on your mortgage. You're underwater. You approach the bank and you say, hey, I would prefer just to get out of this now. Can we talk about a short
before
sale?
Before I'm delinquent.
Yeah,
right.
and most banks at that point have said no. Talk to us when you get in trouble.
All banks have said that.
Yeah.
They have said, no, we can't deal with you. We can't do a refinance. We can't do a remediation. We can't do a short sale or approve a short sale unless you're delinquent.
So now at this point, they want to say, okay, we will talk to you, but the borrower must demonstrate financial hardship.
Okay.
And that's described as a death in the family, divorce, disability, employment transfer, that type of thing.
So a borrower that's current and is requesting a short sale has to demonstrate some financial hardship.
Yes, they do.
All right.
And then it says that at the end of this, the bank may say, borrower, you're asking us to take a loss. I tell you what, in this whole equation, if we take a loss, you got to take a little bit of a loss too. It's only
okay.
fair.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that the current person who is given the mortgage, the bank, says may be responsible for the amount not satisfied by the proceeds because it's a short sale. But now borrowers will be required to make a cash contribution at the time of closing or to sign a promissory note to reduce Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's losses.
So basically what they're saying is if we sell this on a short sale, the bank has lost, for example, $20,000. So borrower, you're going to, or owner, seller, you're going to have to share that burden. We're going to charge you $10,000 of that. So you're either going to have to pay it at closing or you're going to have to sign a promissory note that you will pay it in the future.
I like that. I think that's allowing people that in the transaction to be able to work and negotiate, and I think all of that is just fine.
But also Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, if the borrower does sign a promissory note for these unpaid funds, they will waive their right to collect any more of that outstanding balance. So the borrower is getting something in return for sharing the loss.
It's not you paid me some, but we're still coming after you.
We're still coming after you. It's let's agree to an amount you're going to pay, and then we're going to forgive the rest of the loan.
Now they've got to realize that when they do that, this is still going to impact and affect their credit rating because even though they're not going to go after them, they're going to still
and you mentioned
that.
In our discussion pre-show that a short sale is a form of foreclosure as well.
Yeah,
so it's going to affect your credit, definitely.
It is. Here is the part that I find very curious.
This is okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I think we're on the same track here.
I was going to say this is of utmost importance to homeowner associations.
Yes, it says community associations should be aware that there are sweeping changes. It says that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac has established a maximum aggregate payment of $6,000 per short sale to satisfy any subordinate lien on the property. Any subordinate lien holder, which would be the association, they're in second position.
It says it could include non-payment of assessments or other amounts due to the association.
Yeah, it says if a lien holder objects to a distribution of this $6,000 amount, by objecting, the lien holder can prevent the whole short sale transaction from moving forward.
And this is what you and I tried to wrap our minds around for about 45 minutes before the show. There's going to be this $6,000 set aside in this entire short sale deal to help pay off subordinate liens, and that would include a homeowners association that has a lien for unpaid assessments. But what we couldn't really figure out step by step is, practically speaking, real world, how is this going to transpire?
I think in some people's minds they're thinking, well, people think, well, the association's in second position. Wow, if they could get
that
$6,000 now, $6,000, that sounds like a lot.
Yes,
but there are more than just necessarily one person in
the way
a position.
this reads, it sounds like they are looking at all the secondary or subjective lien holders.
And here's the part that I have an issue with. It says that the mortgage servicer will have the authority to determine how to
distribute that
$6,000. So that means the association may say, you know what, we're going to cut our losses, and we agree. But there's some contractor who said, I did some work, and you know what? Forget you. I want more than $3,000 or $1,000 because more is going to some other people behind me. I'm going to just say no, and now they nix the whole deal.
Let's back up a minute, Gene. What this says is that $6,000 is not all going to go to the first person in line.
That's right.
Even if they owe the association $8,000, the mortgage servicer gets to distribute that $6,000 among all the lien holders. So that's number one. The association has to realize just because they've got the next lien in line, they're not going to get that entire amount of money. So it could be a second mortgage on there. It could be a contractor's lien on there. The mortgage servicer gets to decide who gets how much money.
That's exactly right. And now here's the person that is not really a party or a principal in this. They didn't give the money. They didn't promise to pay.
It's kind of weird, isn't it, to suddenly throw the mortgage servicer into this picture?
Why would they be in this?
I don't know. But then you went on to say that any one of these lien holders, if they don't like the way this money is distributed, can nix the whole deal by disputing it.
Yeah, it just seems it could be crazy.
It seems like good news on the one hand and then seems impossible to implement on the other.
Doesn't that seem to be the case? You get other people in government sometimes that say, I can fix the problem. As soon as they say that, my goodness.
Yeah, a whole new set of problems is created.
Oh, they sure fixed it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, folks, what do you think about it? It'd be interesting to hear from you. But I tell you what, we need to hear from these messages. Don't go away. One more segment of Where You Live in just a few minutes.